I believe. And we're here in the office of the Always Believe House. And today we are going to have F-U-N, fun, because we're going to do a Staar review. Let's get rocking and rolling. And let me record this or I will be talking for nothing, which is what I just did. We are recording and a magical whiteboard appears in my office. So notice on number 9, I'm just going to start you off on this one. I'm not going to answer it. You're going to drop the first parentheses. Basically what you want to do on this is to get rid of the parentheses and add or subtract. Now then on the next parentheses, we're going to bluebell truck the 3, right? So there's 3 3s. We're going to do sign, number, letter, exponent 3 times. A 3 times a 4 is a plus. 3 times 4 is 12. My letter's X, my exponent's 2. So sign, number, letter, exponent. Go to the next step. A positive times a negative is a negative. 3 times 2 is 6. My letter is X. A positive times a negative is a negative. And 3 times 6 is 18. Sign, number, letter, exponent. When you get to here, you are going to single underline the X squares, double underline the X's, and triple underline the constants. Now you're just going to group them up and write down the answers. On number 10, we are going to bluebell truck a negative 3x. There's 2 negative 3x's, so we're going to do sign, number, letter, exponent twice. A negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 4 is 12. The letter is X, and X times X is X squared. Some of y'all are missing that because you're not putting the X squared. The next step, a negative times a negative is a positive. 3 times 9 is 27. And my letter is X. That's the answer. On number 11, you're going to graph this. Use your calculator and then hit Control T. Graph it and hit Control T. Go to the next one. Number 12. Number 12. This is one of the hardest things we'll do, and we'll be factoring after Christmas, okay? So you're going to get a small taste of it now. Basically, what you're wanting to do is undo the bluebell truck. So if you have 32 and 8, what's the biggest number that goes into 32 and 8? So draw a blank and put a parentheses, and we're going to divide this. So what's the largest number? If I had 32 over 8, the biggest number I could divide these by is 8. So 8 goes into 32 and 8, right? So my bluebell truck is 8, and X squared, they both have X. Now then, I'm going to take 8X and divide it into 32X squared and 8X. So basically, I'm dividing 8X. I'm taking my bluebell truck away from the scores. So 32 divided by 8 is 4. X squared divided by X is X. And 8x, a positive divided by a negative divided by a positive is a negative, and 8x divided by 8x is 1. So the answer is going to be 8x parentheses 4x minus 1. If I were to multiply that, I would go up to 32x squared minus 8x1. So I'm pulling the bluebell truck away from the scores. Number 13, we're going to divide and just get sign, number, letter, exponent. A positive divided by a positive is a positive. I don't put a plus at the beginning. 24 divided by 4 is 6. My letter is X. 3 minus 1 is 2. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. 36 divided by 4 is 9. And my letter is X. A negative divided by a positive is a negative. 8 divided by 4 is 2. And X divided by X, it cancels out. This is my answer. Number 14, I'm going to start this and let you finish it. We're going to bluebell truck a 4x to the 2x and 7. And then we're going to bluebell truck the negative 3 to the 2x squared to the 6. So I have 4 bluebell trucks up there, don't I? I'm going to do sign, number, letter, exponent 4 times. A positive times a positive is a positive. 4 times 2 is 8. My letter is X. And X times X is X squared. A positive times a negative is a negative. 4 times 7 is 28. My letter is X. A negative times this negative 3 goes away because we bluebell trucked it, right? So a negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 2 is 6. My letter is X. My exponent's 2. And the last one, a negative times a positive is a negative. 3 times 6 is 18. And now then we're going to group. Single underline the X squares. Double underline the X. Triple underline the 18. So you're going to group those x squares together and drop the x in the 18. Oh, let's go to the next one. On this one right here, I'm not going to help you out. Just remember that the slope of standard is negative a over b. You should easily be able to get all of those slopes. Go to number 16. On number 16 at the bottom, write down y equal 2 and write down x equals negative 3. I'm going to graph both of those lines. Okay, I'm going to graph both of those lines. Now then, when I do this, do y'all see that this bar has an underline? That's going to be a solid line. This does not, does it? This will be a dashed line. So I'm going to graph it just like I would a line, but I'm going to make a greater than or less than or equal line solid. If it's less than or greater than, it will be dashed. So let's graph the y equal 2 line. Y equal 2 is a flat line that goes through 2 in it. Or it looks like this, right? That's my y equal 2 line. An x equal line is vertical. It goes through the x-axis, not the y. And this line, and I'm going to do it in purple, will go through the negative 3. And since there's no equal bar, we're going to draw a dashed line. Make sure you can tell that it's dashed on your paper. Now then, we're either going to shade up or down or left or right. So on the y less than or equal to 2, which way is less than on y? All of the y's less than are down, aren't they? So on this green line, let's shade down like this. So every dot below that line will satisfy y less than or equal to 2. Now then, let's go to the purple line. On the purple line, I want all of the x's to be greater than negative 3. Which way is greater than x? It's not to the left, it is to the right. So I'm going to shade diagonally the other way, this way, right? Now then, when you do this, there are 4 parts of the line, and I'm going to start at the top. Let's start at the top right. 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? Which one of those parts are double shaded? Part 1 only has a single shade, right? Part 2 is not shaded at all. Part 3 is single shaded, but part 4 is double shaded. So my answer would be here, wouldn't it? So all of the ordered pairs in the bottom right would work. And let's just pick one of those points for example. Let's pick this point. Let me change colors. Right here and write down, that would be, write down 4, 1. Write down 4, 1. This is my x, this is my y. If I were to put 4 right here, 4 is greater than negative 3 in it. So check it. It works, doesn't it? If I were to put 1 right here, 1 is less than or equal to 2 in it. So that ordered pair makes both inequalities true. That's what you're trying to find. Every ordered pair in that yellow shaded area would make it true. Let's go to 17. This one's kind of funky. Because look at what's happening to the gallons. The gallons are going up, but the price is going down. So this is kind of funky. It will have a negative slope. Now then, look at this. It's function of, the gallons is a function of the money. This is backwards. So this is going to be so many gallons per dollar, or it costs gallons per dollar. So put a Y for the gallons and an X for the dollars. And I'm not going to use the first two because there's decimals. I'm going to use these two. There's no decimals in those ordered pairs, are there? So draw a fraction bar minus minus. My Y's are not on the bottom, they're on the top, aren't they? So that's flip table in it. You got to look at Y as a function of X and figure out what your Y and X is. So on the top of the fraction, I'm going to do 10 minus 6, and on the bottom, I'm going to do 5 minus 15. That will be some negative fraction, and then you're going to fill in below. And you should be able to do that. Let me stop recording. I hope you have a wonderful day today. Let me end this so we can start making it. Have a fantastic day. Remember, you were created to do wonderful things. You are awesome. And always believe.